I
pounds?
was around 228 when we started all this, and I jumped on the scale the other day, and I'm about 190.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, stud. How are you?
How you doing?
Doing great. Doing
Good,
better
good,
than
good.
good.
Nice to meet you.
Tammy,
Tammy,
nice to meet you.
nice one, nice one. So it's been a little while, so your face is looking completely different to the last
Oh,
time I see you.
I've lost 5 more pounds in the last week and a half.
Wow.
I think
Wow.
I found it.
Yeah. So what's that, like 35 pounds in a
I
couple of
was I was
months?
around 228 when we started all this, and I jumped on the scale the other day, and I'm about 190.
He's in
Wow.
Wonderland.
Wow. But more so than just the weight, let's talk about the pain that you was going through a couple of months
Um,
ago.
yeah, no, I'm still feeling like a rock star, man.
Yeah.
I have no pain whatsoever.
And you had you literally said it took 30 minutes to go
Yeah.
to make a coffee in the morning because of your knee pain.
I'd wake up in the morning, and I had so much pain from my feet to my knees to
Mm,
everything. I didn't even want to put my feet on the floor. And
wow.
and yeah, I mean it would took me quite a while just to, if I wanted another cup of coffee, I would be sitting in the chair and I'd still have to rock to get back up, and then it was quite the process.
Now I can't seem to get you on the phone because you're always outside working.
That's true. Yep.
It's like 12 hours a day. And how's the blood sugar now?
It's still around the same. It's still hovering
What?
around 130,
But
and
it was 230, wasn't it?
oh, yeah, it was higher than that probably.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean that's pretty dangerous. Ketones, did they make it to zero point 0.5 now?
Oh yeah, I've been at point 0.5 for quite a while now.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's nutritional ketosis. But the blood pressure shocked you, didn't it? It was like 5 days, I think, wasn't it? And it was
Oh,
down.
absolutely. Absolutely. I haven't had blood pressure that good. I'll be 54 in November, and I haven't had it that good probably since I was in my early 20s.
Oh, shit. So, did you speak to the doctor yet about coming off any medications and stuff? Because I know you quit the painkillers before,
Yep.
anyway.
Yep. I haven't touched a tramadol since we began this. I have not. I haven't had a doctor's appointment. Again, going through the VA, being a veteran
Yeah,
is an extra challenge.
they sort of
Um,
left you on your own, didn't they? As you said.
yes, sir. I did have an appointment with the pain management there,
Mm,
a video appointment with the guy, and I already told him previously about you working with me, and I told him the results I was feeling, and he went down his checklist and he just gave up because he was asking about my pain, my diabetes, everything, and
mm,
he was aware of the regimen I've been on, and
mm.
and he just laughed. He's like, "Yeah, you're good." And I'm like, "Yes, sir." I said, "I'm better than good."
Wow. I mean, all I can say is congratulations. It's a fantastic thing for me to be able to help somebody with the same age. And I know what's capable because I was going through similar symptoms when I was 40. Not so
Yeah.
much with the knee pain, but just aches and pains and fatigue and indigestion and just general feeling shit.
I was having, because I told you when we first met, I drank a lot of beer, and
Mm,
then it was only in the evenings regardless, it was still beer, but I was having pains that I so because knowing how I've lived the rough tough life, working, fighting, drinking, whatever, name
mm,
it, I've always expected, yeah, cancer wouldn't surprise me, liver
yeah.
wouldn't surprise, it's just it's a common sense. And then this winter I was having major pains in my back. I looked like I was about 9 months pregnant, and I told you before, I had cooled it on
Mm,
the beer, and I tried making
yeah.
changes in my diet on my own, but I just did not have the results.
But
And then
we use the alcohol for pain management though, and then it's a couple of beers and then it's a couple more. I used to do it with
oh
wine, but then I
yeah
would end up drinking a couple of bottles, and
yeah
then you
It's
feel
totally
terrible the
worth
next day. Yeah. Um,
it.
so it's a whole holistic approach, and the good thing is, or the amazing thing is, we didn't track a thing. I just said eat 3 meals a day, eat this, and see how you feel. And you've been perfect. You've stuck to the plan
I haven't
perfectly.
faltered. I have not faltered once, not one tiny bit. Matter of fact, when I was texting with the other day, because she's gone through her own journey, she's still
Mm-mm.
kicking it,
Which is amazing. I've seen that journey as
Thank
well.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I've been eating the same damn thing since we started this. And on the phone the other night, she was saying, well, because she
Well, I'm curious because like what I do
Yeah.
is keto based, but it's a lot more free. Like I kind of
Mm.
do. I guess they called. I guess I didn't know there was a term like a dirty keto. Um,
Okay.
where I have a little bit more fun in my diet than he does. Like
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I would be a cave woman and doing that, and like I like my fruits and vegetables. And but what I'm finding, because I follow a lady, she's great, kick ass Kate. All of her food and recipes are just nutrient dense, protein
Mm.
rich, real ingredients, no sugar, and that's what works for me. But I've been when I like right now I'm in a plateau, so it's time to kick the keto part of it back in, and then I'll
Yeah.
get over that
Yeah.
jump.
And I know you had a few questions for me that to see obviously what maybe Chris could now add to his diet. And
Right.
so what's the questions?
So, well, I mean, it's the strictly carnivore. Like, are there any fruits and vegetables that you can suggest so you can have some variety? You know what I mean? Because like I know I eat blackberries a lot because there's like a gram of protein in each one of them bad boys.
Well, I never count protein from fruits because it's
Well, I
it's
do.
just it's just not a complete protein
I
and
know,
it's
I
not
know, I
much.
know.
But and we want a lot of protein. But I mean, run me through what you're eating right now, Chris. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, roughly, quickly.
breakfast is usually 5 or 6 eggs. I'll have two or
Mm,
three different meats, an avocado. I'll put and with the coke, not the
Almond.
avocado butter, almond
yeah,
butter.
yeah.
And then I'll have my plain Greek yogurt that I got
Mm,
mixed up with a small handful of blueberries, and I've still been chucking a little bit of that granola, very little,
yeah, yeah,
and I throw nuts in it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's what I have for breakfast. I really only eat 2 meals a day. I
Mm,
do have some of those pork rind things
I love
that
this.
you told me I could have
yeah,
for
yeah.
snacks, and then dinner it's always a steak, shrimp, cottage cheese, big glass of
Mm,
milk.
Yeah.
You know,
perfect. Well, you are testing ketones, so as
right?
long whatever you eat, as long as you remained in ketosis, then
Correct.
you're going to be balancing the blood sugar. You're going to be keeping the inflammation low. So now it's a case of introducing. So I do a very Mediterranean style ketogenic diet,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
it's very pretty on the plate, if you
Mm-hmm.
like, because it's a
Very
nice Greek
colorful.
salad, tomatoes, olives, feta cheese, olive oil with avocado. My breakfast is very similar to yourself with the Greek yogurt, the berries. I mean, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, they're generally fine.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
It's generally the tropical fruits that are very high in
Bananas and
sugar.
mangoes and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they taste super sweet, don't they? But I mean, one piece of fruit generally didn't kill anybody. But
Right.
if you have a difficult question, think back to how primitive men ate. They didn't have a ninja blender where they blended up 10 different tropical fruits and then guzzled them down like a pint of orange juice. You don't sit there and eat 10 apples, do you? Never.
No.
Never. You would have an apple. I don't think
Right.
I've ever sat there and think I must eat 5 apples. But you
God
could
no.
easily drink 5 apples, and this is the problem in the last 30
The
years,
juices.
the juicing.
Yep.
Because we're getting that bolus of sugar and fructose.
Yeah.
And fructose is actually worse. I
It
mean,
should.
sugar is 50% fructose, 50% glucose. So if we don't call it sugar, we call it glucose.
Yeah.
Fructose is worse, actually,
Yeah.
for the liver because it gives you the fatty liver.
Yeah.
And in America now, the non-alcoholic fatty liver is the worst cause of liver
Yep.
cirrhosis
Absolutely.
now, more than alcohol. Because even the
Yeah.
young people are not drinking as much anymore, but they
Yeah.
are juicing more.
Yeah. So one of my other questions is the constant state of ketosis. Like, how is that going to affect his kidney functions?
Now, there's no danger to high protein diet on kidneys. This is, again, in my opinion, and what I've read over the years, more propaganda. I had two clients with only one kidney,
Okay.
and they doubled their protein They went to 150 grams of protein a day, and their
Right.
liver, their kidney values was the best they ever had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of even arguing the point. It's the same thing with me. That's about what I eat: 140, 150 grams of protein a day. I ate so much when I first started, I got gout.
Yeah. Yeah, and gout actually comes more from uric acid, which
Yeah,
is
I love
again
fish.
fructose actually is the worst thing for that. Fructose and alcohol.
Hmm.
So by removing those two, you generally
Right.
stop the gout problems.
Yeah, I
But
know it's my finger,
for
but
you
yeah, that was
to add a nice salad, vegetables, I mean, any broccoli, cauliflower,
the green, right?
yeah,
What
anything
about
dark, leafy,
beets?
green. I have some beetroots. I love beetroot. That was one of my
Beets are
first
so
foods
good for you.
as a kid. So much that when I went to the bathroom, it was bright red, and
Pea,
my
yeah,
mom was
yeah,
like,
scare you.
"Holy,
Get it out of your mom.
what's happened to the baby?" But so I do like beetroot, especially if you've got
Beets,
fresh beetroot and you make a
yeah.
beetroot soup. I mean, that's
Mm,
fantastic for the heart because it increases nitric oxide,
yeah.
which that opens up the valves for the heart. So it's good. Again, test your blood sugar, test your
See how it is.
ketones. Yeah, and when you've got that test, you want to be eating it and then testing an hour later and see what happens, or 30 minutes, then an hour and a half, because you're still in the early stages of it. I say I did 2 years strict to sort of heal everything, and now I do like carb cycling, if you like, or cyclical keto. So once, twice a week, I have rice,
Got
and
you.
this is for a few reasons. One, I like rice.
I love
Two,
rice.
the wife's Chinese,
You eat
so
rice.
our mum owns a sushi restaurant, so you go and
Um,
have some sushi. But there is other benefits as well, as in a rest, a change. So psychologically, you're having something a
yes.
little different. And hormonally, I'm a physique athlete, so it fills your muscles up more with
Right.
glycogen, so you get better pumps in the gym, and you would look better on stage after the carbohydrate. It it's not a necessity. The actual requirement for carbohydrate for you to eat ever again is zero.
Yeah.
Your body will make all the sugar it needs.
Right.
But so that's the reasons that I do it. But you certainly don't have to, but you can. And I call it metabolic flexibility
I like that.
because it allows you to make it sustainable. The best diet is the one that's getting rid of all the pain, getting rid of the inflammation, making you feel great, but you can stick to it forever. If it's
Well,
brutal
yeah.
and you hate it, then you can't. You will fall off the wagon.
I,
I've
And
done
that's
this
what
for
I was
about
worried
12
about with
years.
him. And that's
Yeah.
what I was worried about is having something so strict and just not having any flexibility. I'm like, that's not good because that's not realistic for long term a
It's
lifestyle change. But if it's going to be a
social
lifestyle, then
events and things.
you
Yeah.
can play with things like I've got tons of ideas. Like I know how to make bread out of chicken, so we got this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen that. I've never done that, but they even
I
make
make cloud
pizza
bread. It's
crust.
this big and it's you can eat the whole thing, and it's like yeah.
Yeah,
So
pizza crust with chicken breast. They sort of do
yeah,
it somehow, or with
cauliflower. Yeah,
cauliflower.
I love it.
So play around with all, and the keto diet is fantastic of food. Now the carnivore diet, which when we started, I thought you may need that, but you haven't because you've had the yogurt, you've had the berries, you've had this stuff. Carnivore is very strict. It's
It is very
literally
strict.
meat and eggs, and I sometimes I have a carnivore meal simply because I haven't got salad in the fridge or I can't be bothered. But
Hmm.
when the wife's here and the family, you make a nice salad. To do it for yourself on your own, just give me a steak. Just give me a steak.
Exactly.
It's easier. But I know you used to enjoy cooking it as well back in
oh,
the
I
day.
love, I love it. I mean, I've got every. She, she just came up last night, but I mean, I've
Cooked
got.
up a bunch of what? Yeah, tuna and swordfish. What was
Oh,
it? Swordfish?
yeah, yeah. Last night we had two. Well, we had tuna and no, it was salmon
Salmon. Sorry.
Yeah,
for dinner.
yeah.
But no, I used to bake and cook, and I even thought,
Mm,
and as she said, I've done this diet. I don't care. I'm one of those old school people that I never forget where I came from, where I
yeah.
was, or where it began, and that's always been a reminder in all aspects of my life.
Mm.
and I will never go back to feeling the way I did. I will.
No way.
Exactly, and that's the thing that keeps you there, and it's the key thing that keeps you from drinking or it keeps you from smoking. If somebody's had cancer and a lung out, if they go back to smoking again, then
Oh, that's
I,
there's no
sad.
help for them. There's no help for them.
I
But
watched the pizza get.
yeah,
I
how
watched
you
the,
are now from 2 months ago, you're a different human,
well,
completely different.
and I also wanted to add to this because obviously Sam's told you all about me, before
Yeah.
and at the beginning.
This kid's a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, my
Mm,
boy is awesome.
Yeah, that kid's a powerhouse.
But
mm,
and I'm sure he probably told you my dad's a little crazy, and I've always been a
mm,
very adrenaline driven. That I have to live a certain way because I am. But I without, and I'm not. I tend to be more a skeptic and a realist than
mm,
positive. But I above and beyond feel something inside me that I don't even know if I've ever felt. My
Yeah.
my neighbors up here have camps and
mm.
they've watched me work on this property, but they knew I was bad shape this winter. They would only come up
Yeah.
weekends, and they've seen me out in the last 3. They actually nicknamed me Sasquatch because every once in a while, out of the blue, they'll hear this because I just feels like I'm gonna blow from the inside. I could, I'm again. I mean, I've always been crazy and had that fire and
Mm.
determination, but I feel something in my chest.
I think it kicks a
The-
primal instinct in you. I really
Well,
do. I really think when you,
I think
why
it
how
takes a
can it not?
certain type of individual to become a Marine or in the armed forces. Not everybody could do it. Certainly, most men these days couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So,
Accurate.
so it takes a type of man to do that, and it's nice that it's brought that man back because that
Oh,
man was asleep.
I mean, if like I said, I've got an energy, and it's my body. I still look in the mirror. I still got the
Mm.
older dad bod. Not I'm losing it fast. Got the
Yeah.
scars. I still got image injuries, but I feel like I can see where if I was 30 years old, man, I would be
Mm.
blowing the roof off a gym. I mean, you got
And
to
that's
get
how
this
I
I'm
shit
about to
out.
get
feel.
this guy
And
in a
that's how
gym.
I
I'm getting him
feel.
in a gym. You watch.
Yeah.
Give me time.
That's
Give
the
me
next
time.
that's the next step. Of course, we got to start at the beginning because you can heal. It's just regressing everything and then progressing very slowly. But when you're 53, we can live another 40 years of strength.
Yeah.
I want to be doing this when I'm 80. I still want to be
I'm
lifting.
doing Katagan at the end of next month, so if he's going to be hanging out with me for the
She's
next 5 weeks, he's
she,
going to be doing some more.
she's hiking the most badass mountain in the state of Maine here in about a month. She just signed up for the thing,
So
but
I'm like, if you're going to be hanging out with me, you're going to be going up some
Yeah, there
mountains.
you
So
go. And it's great to have goals
yeah,
because that's what
keep you
that's what
motivated.
keeps us excited. And
Exactly.
I've seen your pictures around your area. I mean, it's beautiful up
It's
yeah.
there,
gorgeous.
and
Yeah.
it's so nice. And it's nice to be able to enjoy it. And it's more depressing when you can't get out. When you've got an injury, it's just so boring. So
Oh yeah, like
it,
I hurt
it,
my knee last week, and I'm out. I've been out of the gym, out of the because I hurt my wrist 2 weeks before that, so I can't lift because I have my bad
mm,
bum hand,
mm,
and then I hurt my knee, so I can't do lower body. I'm like,
yeah,
but you know what? It doesn't scare me now because 2 years later, I'm just gonna pick up as soon as I feel better. I'm right back in there. Like I'm not
yeah.
worried about not going back to the gym now. Like
There's
that's just part
always
of who I am
something you
now.
can do. You can do something, even
Oh
if it's
yeah,
a
no,
simple walk. Walking
exactly,
is very underrated, and it's the
exactly.
best. It's the best fat burner because we've always got
Yep.
energy to walk. You can't always go for a sprint. I don't sprint, but I always walk. I've averaged
Yeah,
15,000 steps thereabouts every day
yeah,
for the last 10 years.
that's amazing.
Because these youngsters can't do it for 10 weeks, and I'm like,
Yeah,
come on, I've done it for 10 years. Just get
yeah,
out
exactly.
and move while you can, because when you
Exactly. We got
can't,
movable parts for a reason. Move them or lose them.
exactly. So no, it's fantastic. Have I sent you a recipe book that I have before, Chris? Maybe I
no,
did at the
sir.
start.
You said you
Okay.
initially. You have not. You sent me a printout of some at the
Uh,
beginning, just ideas of what I should be
I'll
eating.
send you over a recipe book now, which is a low
Absolutely.
carb, and you can
Yep,
play around with that. It's a little
Yeah.
bit, it's out of most people's cooking skills, but some people can
I'm a
really
great
take to
cook.
it. Yeah, exactly. For me, I just bag of salad, Greek salad, and a protein source, whether it's salmon, sardines, steak,
Yeah.
lamb chops. anything. It's so easy.
Sardines are so good too.
And you love eggs. So, I mean, did that answer all the questions? It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
boring.
I was just really worried about the longevity of it, you know,
Yeah,
and because I know that for me, like if I get bored, I'm out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like if I because I can't eat the same thing every day. And I can for a
yeah.
certain time to hit a goal, but that's not what I want to do for the rest of my
Men
life. So I
can
just wanted to
more
make
than
sure he
women,
has some
though, in my
playroom.
experience, for
And I
sure.
try to tell him too, as long as this is your lifestyle choice, you can go have something if you want to, so that your mental state stays healthy
Yeah,
as well. You know what I mean? But you just got to make
exactly.
sure that 99.9% of the time you're on track.
And I thought, and as you've seen, and I told you from the beginning, I am a very disciplined man.
Yeah.
I am. I mean, yeah, I've lived and made some poor choices and acted
But
Yeah.
but
not
that's the
disciplined,
soldier in you. That's the soldier. You're used to
but
discipline.
I watched a pizza get sliced up in front of me the other day, and I looked at it for a minute. I'm like, man, I've
Mm,
been so strict. I could have one
But you
piece,
know
and then I
what?
immediately said,
You
no
can
way.
have a piece of pizza the other day
perfect.
because you know what? I can have a piece of
Well,
pizza.
make a keto pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like,
And
when am I going to have that again? I'm not, it was one slice of pizza. It didn't kill
but
me.
and if you do have it, just make a note of how you feel the next day. How's the inflammation?
Crap.
How's the pain?
Crap.
I
Yeah,
just haven't dared to falter from it. I mean,
no.
but listening
Because
to
you're
you,
still
I'll just
healing. You're still healing, and it takes a while for the body to heal, the lining of the gut to heal. The
Oh,
inflammation is obviously down now. You've lost
oh,
35 pounds. There's
yeah,
zero pain. You don't want that pain to come back. And
no,
I mean, you was a 9 out of 10, you said. I mean, that's agonizing. That's,
oh,
mentally destroying to have that sort of pain all day
well,
long.
it wasn't even. I could take all the pain in the world. It was the
Mm,
mental pain that if I
yeah,
can't function like a man or just function, kill me. It ain't worth
yeah,
living.
yeah.
this
No, I agree.
sentence. My body
Oh,
knows
and
what to do with protein. So,
on a final note, unless you've got any more questions, I wanted
no.
to. Now, I've been researching different charities in America, and I've come up with. Do you know Gary Sinise? Gary
I do.
Sinise.
Yes, sir.
I seem to like his foundation for veterans in America. What he's doing. I used to like him as an actor as well, so I have
Yeah,
a memory. Was he in Forrest Gump? Was he?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're old enough to remember that movie. Now, the money that you paid me for that, I'm going to donate to that charity because I know that you wouldn't take my work for free. You wouldn't take it off your boy, but I'm going to give it to that charity to say thank you for the work that you do.
Good on you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that kind of thing comes back. I'm gonna tell you.
You're welcome. So
Thank
it's been
you.
a pleasure, and we're not finished. Let's
Oh
keep
no.
going.
No,
We've got to
I'll
get.
be your little mosquito in his ear.
I
Yeah.
got her now, but I already consciously, because initially I think you'd mentioned suggested 3 months. And
Mm,
obviously, as you've come to see with me, I'm extremely physical. But as I get into the fall, like we talked about, we're getting
yeah.
closer to winter. I am most certainly, and perhaps sooner, I'll reach out and maybe we could get me on a physical training plan. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I'm hunting season's coming up.
I have a portable treadmill. I'm sneaking up here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't get outside as much when it's winter, of course, but so there's more time to do some
I
exercise.
And I got this monster inside of me. I got to do something with her. I'm going to start ripping trees down because I've got more energy than any 50-year-old should have.
He doesn't know it, but he's
Yeah.
doing the tag next year with me.
Well, when I was 40, say I was 106 kilos, which was about 238, 240. So similar
It's
to
heavier
what
than
you
both of
were.
you guys. What the heck?
Yeah. By 45, I was British champion, amateur and pro. No hormones, no peptides, just strict keto, just diet. And I was back on
Exercise.
stage winning shows. So anything is possible if it's
Hmm.
in here.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
one of
have
my
it
other
there.
goals is a novice transformation contest. Just one, an over
Yeah,
50 novice transformation category.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just one,
yeah.
just to say I can do it.
Yeah, exactly. I took on a lady who was 49. She'd never been to the gym before.
Neither did I.
And by 52, I think she was on stage doing a bikini competition.
That's awesome.
And she looked fantastic.
Yeah,
And now she just loves training, so
yeah.
she's got
For
that
me,
love
it's just
for it.
that almost 53. I just, when I fall, I want to be able to get back up. You know what I
And
mean?
and it's very
Functional
important,
strength, you know.
especially as ladies go through the menopause, you see, you're losing bone
Weak
mineral
bones.
density
Yep.
and you break a hip. The the
You're done.
statistics is something like 50% die within like three
You're way
years.
way higher.
It's crazy, the
Yeah.
number. It's insanely
Yeah.
bad. So strength training is number one for
Yeah.
everybody.
I
I call it
I
metabolic
lift weights 5 days a
currency.
week. Yeah, I lift weights
Metabolic
5 days a week.
currency.
I don't ever
And
want to prove. I don't ever want to prove my son right because I told you, and I'm sure he's told. He's always said, "Dad, you'd be a beast if you got in the
mm,
gym." Just because I've got. I mean, I've sent you that picture of my shoulders.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
just from work. I mean, I've had 12-foot trees on my shoulders, and I mean,
You can knock on these things, just so you know.
Exactly. Yeah, you're an absolute unit. So that's the next
but
phase. Why
yes,
not?
sir. I
Why
get
not?
I get to the windows when I have the time to be disciplined about it because I know you said you were going to have me do those stretches, but I just got
Yeah,
so crazy busy I couldn't do it. But
yeah,
I'm you're 100% going to hear from me again here soon,
yeah.
and I'd love to have you help me again. We'll get things going again with a more plan.
Beautiful. It's been a pleasure. It
Al, I
really
can't
is.
thank you enough. I appreciate you more.
Perfect.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man.
Pleasure to
Thanks,
meet you.
man.
Thank you for answering
Nice
my
to meet you,
questions.
Tam. You have a
Appreciate you
fantastic
answering.
weekend and a great
Thank
day.
you.
And we'll
Yes,
be in
sir. You
touch.
take care.
All,
Thank you.
all the best. Thank you.